So now that we're wrapping up the build, we have the staged Fushi wheels in chrome on there. We have the BC Racing DS Series coilovers. We got the Race Quip seats, and then we got our GT4 front lip on there. The Michelin Sport Cup 2 Connect tires, those have been awesome. Oh, the wrap. And then we did a wrap on it, which I'm really excited about.
What was the inspiration behind the wrap?
The wrap kind of came from an idea I had to pay homage to the E46 M3 GTR that competed in American Le Mans series. So a lot of people know, of course, the Need for Speed Most Wanted car. Well, that car was inspired by the M3 GTR from ALMS. So the livery we did is kind of a simplified, clean, simple version of that livery that ran on one of those two cars.
What does it mean to you to bring that car to road?
Bringing that car to Road America was really special. I find a lot of joy, in my adult life now, driving on the track, and Road America especially is a world-class facility, with a lot of history behind it. So bringing this piece of my childhood, building it to what suits me today, and then experiencing it on that track was just an incredible moment. I got to take a passenger out for the first time, so getting to share that a little bit was fun, and then just having the whole crew there was really special.
So you brought the car with some new modifications done and stuff since the last time you had it at Road America. Was there anything you were nervous about going into the track day?
Yeah, I was nervous about just the whole build. A lot of my past builds have been pretty moderate, in comparison to this. The M2 I drove effectively stock except for wheels and tires for a really long time. So I was just worried that, something wasn't installed right, something wasn't quite tight. Road America is a very fast track, so if you have something simple like a bolt loose, it can get very scary. But no, the build itself worked phenomenally. It was awesome.
With the new mods on it?
The new mods are amazing. They made really a world of difference in terms of confidence at the track and how aggressively I could really drive it and lean into it. Most importantly, the brakes. I actually cooked my brakes the first time I took it out with just street pads. All I did before was change the brake fluid, but the pads themselves were still glazed over. It was really scary. No issues with that at all. The car stops on a dime now, where I really got to play with it in the high-speed corners. Second, the tires. The all seasons that were on there before didn't really lend themselves to track use, but now in the long sweeping corners like the carousel, it was a lot of fun to just play with grip. Turn one especially was really fun. The camber we added from the BC Coilovers made a huge difference.
Basically from the research saying that this can work with at least -3.5 degrees of camber. So we took the strut out, maxed out the camber all the way negative. We're gonna see how much of a difference it made. So we're gonna throw this back on real quick.
It's a lot better.
It's a lot better.
A lot
better.
Still beefy.
Yeah, still beefy as hell. But this should actually work without hopefully blowing out his fenders. I think we're still gonna roll them, and I think we're still gonna pull out the actual fender liners just so he's not rubbing on the track. But this looks way better already.
That looks so much better.
Yeah.
I'm much less nervous now.
Dude, you basically have a drift car set up at this point.
You just max it out?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. The M3 is a world of difference now, with just the big beefy tires up front, a lot of camber to lean on, so that's been phenomenal. And then the interior, just having proper racing seats and a harness. I actually bought a Hans device, for additional safety since then. It just feels really solid, and I have a lot of confidence in this car now.
What part or modification would you say made the biggest difference?
Oh, the biggest difference, I'm a huge tire nerd. The tires are so huge. From street driving, you find a fun on-ramp or something without traffic around, you can really play and lean into them. On the track, they take heat cycles so well. The tires made the huge difference. But the coilovers also, Just updating the coilovers to the new DS series, the car just rides smoother. It's a little bouncier on some of the really rough roads, but generally speaking, it rides better now and it handles better now. And I haven't really dove into the adjustability of them yet, so really excited to play with that more at grid life.
You've driven the M3 a lot on Road America. Now you've had a few times drive the M2. How do they compare, and do you have a favorite?
How do they compare? Yeah, I've gotten this question a bunch actually from people who came to Early Birds and have kind of talked to me about the car. They compare more than you might think. So first off, they're similar in weight and braking. Where they really differ is in power and then in overall just feel, as corny as that sounds. We talked about this in the first episode. So first off, the M2 is just bigger and heavier, and a lot more powerful. So when you get on the brakes, there's a sort of hesitation of the car it doesn't want to slow down. And that's kind of eerie. You know, it takes a lot to get used to. And some of that is difference in pads, of course, but the car doesn't want to slow as easily. And then when you turn in, because it's on factory suspension still, it really likes to lean on the sidewall, which chews through tires more. The M3, again, with the coilovers and the extra camber we put in there, it turns in like a rail. It's a huge difference. And then power also, the M2 is significantly faster in top speed, and there's 3 very long straightaways at Road America, so the difference of like 100 horsepower is very noticeable there. This keeps surprising people, but I prefer the M3 now. The build made such a big difference in that car that even though it's significantly slower on the top end, it feels better, the cornering speeds are much higher, and I'm just more confident in the car. So that, if I had to choose one or the other, I would always pick the M3 now.
What was your favorite part about doing this build?
I think my favorite part is really just building something to my taste and doing it with the group, and kind of sharing that story with it and having the whole team get excited about it with me. My taste is very simple in comparison to some of the extravagant builds we have, the Ferrari, the S2000 for example. But having it built to what I like and then it works, it's what I wanted and it actually performs the way I expected. That's been very, very satisfying, and I really enjoy sharing that story with people because people seem to really like that too.
Anything else you want to say about the car, the build, anything?
Buy your dream car, or at least drive your dream car. Give it a shot, don't be afraid of it. Buy that car that you've wanted to buy and just give it a shot, and if you don't like it right away, build it a little bit. Don't go crazy, build it. Change some stuff that you don't like about it and kind of ease into that and see where that takes you. And if you really don't like it, right, try the next one. But don't be afraid to modify your car in subtle ways that appeal to you versus what the internet says you should buy. The typical M3 build is not what you see back here. It's very different than this. But this works for me and I really like it. If you want to mod your car, head over to martiniworks.com. We'll help you get the right tire fitment set up. We'll get the right coilers for you, whatever you're trying to do with your car. We're more than happy to help out and get you the parts you need.